is now moving along 10th Avenue, which was closed since Wednesday morning's crane accident.
Yeah, crews are still dismantling that lift, which eventually will be replaced, and the construction work will continue once the building is stabilized. But Wednesday's accident is raising a lot of concerns about crane and construction safety, with so many projects currently underway across the city. So joining us this morning is engineer Rick Chandler, who also served as the commissioner for the Department of Buildings under the Blasio administration. So good morning, Rick. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So let's get straight to what's happening right now. So all the inspections, from what I understand, were up to date on this particular crane. It also passed a surprise inspection just last month. So how often are these crane work sites actually inspected? Because a lot of folks are wondering, how could this have slipped through the cracks?
It is frustrating. There are enormous amounts of inspections with cranes. It's one of the most heavily regulated aspects of the construction industry. So I was happy to learn that there was a surprise inspection, and that is standard procedure for the department. And every step of a crane erection, a crane jumping, a tower crane when it goes up as it ascends the building, it's inspected each and every time. There's different types of inspections based on the department's requirements, but also depending on the license you have to work on a crane, you're required to inspect regularly and record it. So there will be an enormous paper trail for the investigators to follow here.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about licensing, because this same company was responsible for 2 deadly crane accidents in Midtown back in 2008, in which several people were killed. So how were they able to maintain or have a license and continue to operate?
Well, it's troubling to learn. I was disappointed to hear that as well. You know what? That incident was dealt with as what I've read, and I think and everyone else has read, on the separate issues related to what happened back then, and I guess they were suspended for a period of time, and their license was not revoked, so they were allowed to go back, and I'm assuming that will be part of the review this time. But I think that the district attorney's office and others, if it gets to that level, will consider those previous actions.
Yeah, a lot of people are also wondering how the crane operator that was involved was able to get back into this again, because he was involved in that deadly accident back in 2008. I know it was a different company that he was working for at the time, but it happened not far from where this week's accident happened. So how did he get his license back? And is he going to face even more serious consequences this time, because it's not his first time finding himself in trouble?
You know, the department issues licenses for all crane operators, and they will act on their own rules and regulations to decide whether they'll renew it. It's a very coveted license to have, so I expect a full-on defense of anybody whose license is under threat, just like it was back in 2008 or his last accident. So they'll fight any charges to bring him away from a license, but that's licensure. There will also be a separate investigation for possible criminal charges as well, which would be a very, very high bar to meet. But the licensure will be under review, no doubt.
Okay, so when you were the buildings commissioner, you actually cracked down on crane safety regulations following that deadly accident in Tribeca in 2016. How often do these safety regulations actually get updated?
Well, unfortunately, like a lot of things in industry, after an accident, people go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and that's what we did after the 2016, which you're showing there. I'm seeing that was horrific, with the loss of life, and so there was extensive review with professionals from all around the world of cranes, and the rules that were issued afterwards were incredible detailed. So there's the rule just for crane operations, last I checked, was about 52 pages of rules describing the inspections, the licensures, the types of cranes, defining the various parts. So it's incredibly detailed. So it's a very fine investigation into what needs to be done. I guess one of the things they might check is to see if there's too many things, and if there's things that are just being overlooked or just given a very quick pass over. Because one of the things that I think everyone will be asking is, why is the power plant able to have a hydraulic hose break if that's indeed what occurred? That should have been inspected and hopefully would have been noticed. So that's obviously going to be a subject of investigation.
Something also interesting is the particular crane company that's involved. They kind of have like the corner on the market, because there's not a lot of crane companies in this market, right? So is there concern, though, because of all these requirements, the high insurance liability that's involved with those tougher requirements, that it's keeping other companies, maybe more competent companies, from coming into the city?
You know, again, like a number of things, things that are so highly specialized and technical takes an enormous investment to get good at and proficient and operate safely. So yes, there's only a few companies that do this. On top of that, there's only a small group of professionals that do the analysis and design for each and every one of these tower cranes and also the mobile cranes that are erected. It's incredibly complex engineering to evaluate the footings and the overturning moments and all of the forces that go along with these tower cranes. And so it's a very small group of people. It takes a while to get that expertise, and for companies to start up, it's a huge investment. So I don't see a lot of people getting into the business.
All right. Well, Rick, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your expertise and insight.
It's my pleasure. Have a good weekend.